Hello YouTube, this is Marauders here. So when I do 3D printing, I use PETG a lot because I'm trying to make some functional prints, and I just want them to be more resilient and lasting to temperature and other environmental stress. Okay, so if you've been doing printing with PETG, you know that sometimes it can be a bit temperamental, and the first layer adhesion could be a bit better. So when this thing came up on my Facebook feed, this is the BIQU Panda CryoGrip Pro Buildplate, which says that it will hold PLA and PETG at very low temperatures, and from all the other videos I've seen, it was holding it like super tightly, and like, yeah, it was basically acting as if it was glued on, and you have to flex the part of the plate instead of like trying to rip it off after printing. I kind of thought it was a fraud, but yeah, I'll show you why I'm changing my tone now. Okay, so I have 4 pins here on my build plate. So if I do a measurement, so these are very small pins, okay? So you can see here, this is 15.7 millimeters. So these are very small pins. Now if I go to my slicer view and I bring it down to layer 1, you can see that on the first layer, so there's a small stripe here. There are basically 2 dots here on the build plate. Now if you're familiar with printing with PETG, these are not going to make a good day for you, because of how the PETG works. This is going to be very, very hard to print properly without a brim or without a raft. This is basically going to be hell if you're trying to print it normally using PETG. But let's print it on the CryoGrip and see. Okay, printer's getting ready to go, and you see here where the build plate is only 50 degrees on to hold PETG, and we're building, the temp is 235. Okay, so let's see. Okay, we're gonna zoom in after, but you can see there are 2 dots right on the first layer. Okay, they're basically 2 specks. I know this sounds, I'm overly excited about it, but if you print PETG, you know that this is amazing. Okay, the fact that it just managed to handle everything like that flawlessly is actually a very tall ask for it. Yeah, I can see that there was some breakage around, but yeah, this is very good. So a few things like, yep, the build plate is just 50 degrees, so not hot to touch and remove, and the things are stuck down there pretty tight. Remember what the first layer was? It was like a thin stripe and 2 dots. So yeah, this thing is holding on very well. Okay, back in the room. So you can see that the major point was here, where the most of the filament on the first layer was on this part, and these are just 2 dots here. So you can see that part moves, but okay, still not that tight, but you can see that just flicking it, it is pretty tight. So it takes substantial force to just like remove it, and this plate is 50 degrees. So if this was PI, it should have released already very easily. Now it's actually pretty tight. And the thing that I want to point out is just now on the when we was printing, you saw that the line connecting the body to the pins, it didn't come out correctly. But the thing is, that was nothing to do with the build plate, because that was the second layer. But on the first layer, the most important one, where the first layer where it was just 2 dots, the fact that it just printed the first layer so flawlessly with the pins, with the 2 dots that form the tip of the pins without having any problems with adhesion. That is the reason why this build plate is so good, because it just worked. It just gripped those 2 small little dots and it didn't complain about it. That is the amazing thing about this build plate. So I seen on the online and that people are saying that there's a coating here, and even on the product website they do tell you, please just wash it with like this soap and water, don't use IPA on it. So there's a chance that this coating would probably diminish in time. We'll have to see. But then of course we basically have 2 pieces of it. And the other thing is, when it first came, the coating had a smell. It's like a lacquer-like smell. Yeah, it smelled pretty hard. Seems okay now. Either I got used to it or it's just dissipated. In time, we'll see how well it keeps working. But as of now, I really like this thing because I basically have 0 first layer adhesion problems already. Yeah, highly recommended. Especially if you print PLA and PETG, because for the other materials, they don't actually recommend you using this to print. Okay, see you on the next video.